Hello. Good morning, everyone. I believe I should start as a moderator in general as well. This is my first time, so please be patient. We are really happy, honestly. We are really happy to be here today with you and having chance to show you and talk to you a little bit about our professions in the aviation. Together with my colleagues, Paulina, Paga, our ESG leader, and Małgorzata Bjorum, our cybersecurity chief officer, and myself, we would like to show you a little bit of our perspectives on data in aviation. We are representing the Polish airports. Polish airports is a huge, big capital group that combined the whole of the Polish airports, basically. So as far as big we are, as wide are our area of data management. From my perspective as a communication marketing manager, I represent the sector of passengers' behavior, passengers' beliefs, passengers' insights, and the digital transformation. I don't know if you know, but the aviation market grows really rapidly recently. After the pandemic times, we rebound in about 40% versus 2019 in terms of number of served passengers on the overall airport scale in Poland. That is why also the data management and the services and our dynamic work grows rapidly as well, and we have to react really fast in real time, and we have to be ready for unexpected, ready for change. I am working for aviation sector more than 10 years already, and what I would like to share is that I'm really happy that always more and more women, although I believe the characters, women characters are representing this sector. And what is very important in terms of also soft skills, and that reflects also in data management, is our resilience, self-belief, and determination to change, to act, to react, and to manage. My colleague, Paulina, she is an ESG leader, which is, I would say, we are operating a kind of advantage of backwardness in terms of ESG. Paulina works for Polish airports already for 2 years, and her determination is really nearly, but yet I have an impression as if she is with us for always. So she steps into an organization, and since then she's doing a huge effort to manage ESG policy, to introduce, to implement the ESG solutions, which is challenging in our sector, to be honest.
True that.
Paulina works on cross-functional teams, which is also really exceptional and important to implement too. And she builds the project management teams as well. So I have a question to you, Paulina. When people hear about ESG, I bet that they think about some regulations, some paperwork behind, reports as well. What does it look like from the airport perspective? Which ESG data matters the most today, in your opinion?
Well, in fact, it is a lot about reporting and data management, at least at the first, at the primal step. But to me, the ESG transformation, as I like calling it, is mostly about managing the complexity and embracing the complexity. And as you've mentioned that as PPL, we are the most recognized from the Chopin Airport. But furthermore, we have a large and diverse capital group that we do consolidate within our non-financial statements, or that we will consolidate, and we are at the process of preparation to it. So the data is, of course, important, but it's important to recognize what we have there, to standardize and to manage the complexity, to coordinate dozens of operations, starting from energy, safety, passengers flows, infrastructure, public procurement, and community impact. So since we know what we have there, we know what the gaps are and what the challenges are. And I guess many of you know that the majority of the CO2 emissions come from the airplanes and airplane fuels. That means for us it's above 83%, meaning that we have them calculated within the scope 3. And what challenge does it bring us to? It leads us to situation when we have to build coalitions to enable the CO2 reduction far beyond PPL itself, together with airlines, together with entire value chain. And this is what we do basically at the moment. We have completed, let's say, the first phase of collecting the data and knowing what we have there and what we have not. At the second stage, we are at the process of building for entire capital group the standard to not to have data by data next to each other, but to have it combined with an organized methodology and the system, and to build coalitions between the companies and entities that we do not have, I would say, power on. What we can do is trigger to build together a future and to create the pilot projects. As for example, we are about to meet in Gdańsk together with the regional airports the day after tomorrow, and to prototype the joint solutions to apply for joint fundings. And what we will do eventually within the ESG framework as a basis, as help to prototype how the new solutions can operate within the living ecosystem of an airport before we bring the operations to CPK, so Airport Port Polska.
Yeah, I believe it's important what you mentioned, that our know-how will be transferred to the Port Polska. Any example of this new type of technology you've mentioned that you could share with our audience? Top of mind, briefly.
Well, we are really at the beginning phase because it is entirely about how the airplanes and all the infrastructure is fueled, basically, and it's the difficulty, at least for Polish sector, that there are not many specialists that know better. So the issue here is that we are the specialists, but we have our knowledge is spread in between the silos, and this is the challenge I believe that female in general embrace pretty well, which is translating the genres of the disciplines between engineers, between financial specialists, between data specialists, between sustainability people, to create problem-solving framework. And this is what we do basically within the ESG framework or ESG agenda.
Yeah, breaking silos. Could you please share with us some soft, important skills that could help in changing the mental approach? I have to ask this question because I know how important it is in our aviation, in our industry, in building teams right now. It's doable, but what helps you to achieve your goals in terms of breaking silos? Because I see your work and I see that you are successful in this process.
Well, for aviation, I believe the biggest trigger is that when you first come to PPL, people ask you how many years have you been working in aviation fields. If you haven't, it's it's a first difficulty to make people, to persuade them that actually there is a quality you could offer from the outsider perspective. My perspective is very much near to NGOs and startups, innovations. So I'm coming from a culture that is very agile. And within such a hierarchic, large structure, it was a huge lesson to me to develop this humble perspective of waiting for the results and being first the engines inside the G letter, organizing processes, and people were coming and asking, what are these ESG people doing exactly? There is nothing seen outside. Why are you here for? You're not from aviation, and it's not visible. And suddenly, after a year, it started being visible, and we have proven that building first the systems inside as ESG Directors Council and working problem-solving commissions, creating strategy, ESG strategy that is, I like calling it organic spine for the integrated strategy, and then going outside and building coalitions across the sector to prototype the new solutions. So. Yes, so I would mention this humble listening of people, of the expertise of people coming from different genres, and convincing them that impossible is actually available for us.
Yeah, Paulina, she knows what she's talking about. And as she mentioned, I would like to put you a little bit deeper into our perspective, because as far as you know in airlines and this journey, case story, you might not know the airports. So here is our perspective. The airlines are our clients. So as many other clients and stakeholders. We have, actually, I like to think about it in airports also in terms of being shopping centers. So we are shopping centers on the one hand, gastronomical, retail, management, and on the other hand, we are the airline servants as well. So airlines are also our clients. So it comes to the conclusion that we have two types of services at the airports. We have airline services and non-airline services like gastronomy, retail, business. So you can imagine how many data comes around and how many data is present behind the passenger, behind the gates, behind the ticket, behind shoppings at making shopping at airports. And here is the lady who has a really important role in terms of security, data management, Małgosia. Małgosia, couple questions to you. We know that the airport is a vast ecosystem, undoubtedly. Operational systems, passengers, partners, infrastructure. We are the critical infrastructure, the golden word. Which types of data are currently the most sensitive from the cybersecurity perspective?
Thank you, Agnieszka, for this question. And welcome everybody at this early age, at this early hour, because I know there is so many competitive, good speakers at the same time. So thank you for coming. What I would like to say about data is, first of all, from the point that's what is the most important. Airports, it's except of all that has been mentioned before, it's also a place where lots of data are accumulated. And it's a public space, as Agnieszka mentioned. It's an infrastructure, national infrastructure. We have borders. And then we have all this issue concerning moving from one place to another. So there's lots of activity going on the real time. So concerning data, we have to combine it into four layers. Because when we talk about data, we have to talk about passengers' data. Some of you that arrived today for this conference may fly by airplane and have to give its own data, like travel documents, your personal data. When you were arranging the flight, you were giving your personal number to PNR. This is some kind of code for airlines that they are collecting all the data, sensitive data sometimes, right? Because if somebody is a vegetarian, is kosher, these are all data that are sensitive, and all this data are connected. And also what is important now with fast development of airports, it's biometric data, right? We have to in order to make movement of passengers faster, we need to make it convenient, and biometric is one of the ways to do it because it helps on the border control to pass automatically. However, these are, again, very sensitive data. So there are lots of regulation. GDPR is one of them, but there are also agreements between the countries. There are also agreements between airlines. All of this data has to be protected. On the other side, we have operational data. We have systems data. These are data that that are helping the airport's management to operate in a real time. So imagine in one of the systems is not available by some reasons, all the precise operations are failing, right? So there are maybe some cases when some systems are not available for the moment. It really causes lots of problems for operating the airport. On the other side, we have also data that are government, corporate data. These are all information about cyber or security architecture. These are information about incidents, DRP, disaster recovery plans, business continuity plans, audits, some commercial intelligence, I would say. These are also the data we have to protect. So talking about data at the airport, we're talking about lots of things that have to be protected in a real time. Of course, nowadays, cybersecurity is one of the disciplines that moves very fast. Just to serve, to keep reputational airport reputational airport opinion, so we can provide all this system, all this data, and protect them from unauthorized access. Mm-hmm. So I would say data, it's a critical asset. That's my summary of it, and they have to be very careful protected, especially that these are not just any data. These are data of the passengers, sensitive data. So yes, these are one of the assets that are critical?
Well, quite a lot. Gosia, the world is in constant change right now. We live in changing times. How the cybersecurity area has changed in recent year. We are focused more on the infrastructure security, on the people security, or data itself. What would you say about that?
So yes, indeed, cybersecurity is a discipline that moves more and faster than any other discipline. Of course, it is because of geopolitical situation around us, but also of a huge digitalization. And this also is about the airports. Airports has to go through lots of digitalization and of course, what we are talking about, it's not only infrastructure. We have to put it in a different layer also, because it's infrastructure that is old way of thinking. Nowadays, we are more focused on awareness, of people awareness. We are more focused on data. Data we have to protect, and this is also kind of approach that we have to not be focused on firewalls. That too, I'm not making it less, but what I'm trying to say that data and these are also things that that we have to put on our consideration even more than infrastructure or other traditional ways of cybersecurity approach. Because because there is a sign that we have to finish. So I would say with the moving discipline forward, we are also protecting other things like data, and this is not only infrastructure, firewalls, this is also people and data.
Well, I believe that the biggest cybersecurity threat is when you are about to drink the 7 a.m. coffee, right? And you click this unright link that you shouldn't link. Okay, thank you so much. We have to finish, unfortunately, but I have appetite for more. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paulina. Thank you, Gosia. Thank you, me.
Thank you so much.
And all the best to you.
Thank you for joining us and being
so much.
here so early and listening.
It was amazing insights. Thank you, girls.